To grudge or not to grudge? That is the question, ladies and gentlemen. And today we are here with a grudge match, which is going to be the Dwarves versus the Chaos Dwarves. Grombrindle facing off against Hitman Hippo here on the Arbiter's Ground, which is one of our new map pack maps. Very, very cool one. Well, I guess it's been around a while, but it is kind of on the second cycle of maps. Now, for the Dwarf army here, it's going to be Dwarf warriors in the front, so not a lot of armor piercing in the front to deal with their armored cousins. So the Dwarves not respecting the front line of the Chaos Dwarves too much, rather going to be bringing their armor piercing in the second row, Ultharch Raiders, blasting charges, and another unit of Rangers with great weapons, which is kind of interesting. They do have good armor piercing axes and also wield great weapons in melee. Their melee combat stats are really subpar at 22 and 20, but I suppose against like a Chaos Dwarf warrior, if they soften them up first, they can maybe take them on later, so we'll have to see. Now, the rest of the build is going to be kind of Hero Hammer-ish. We do have Felix, Grombrindle, and a Master Engineer, so that's kind of interesting. Master Engineer does have some good slowing capabilities with the Flash Bomb, so I think the idea is that if you can catch a Chaos Dwarf single entity out, whether it's a Lord, a hero, or a monster, you use Flash Bomb, slow it down, and then get Grombrindle and Felix to kind of circle beat it and do a lot of damage, so very fun. Good healing, too. And that's going to be it for the Dowie army. And on the Dowie Czar side of things, for the Chaos Dwarves and Hitman Hippo, it's going to be a lot of Chaos Dwarf warriors with great weapons, which will do well. They're a relatively pricey unit, but if they can just sit and grind without being interfered with against like another shielded warrior unit, they will win 100%. And in the back row, we got more great weapons. Kadai Fireborn, I love it. Oh, Kadai are so cool. So these things, anti-infantry, armor piercing, and they hit like absolute trucks. If they can get in and not be focused down by range, they will annihilate like dwarf units. They will do some big, big damage. But again, the downside of them being is that they can get focused down by missiles pretty heavily. Granted, they do have some okay armor, so we'll see how that all unfolds. Deathstreak Rocket Launcher, not really any purpose to bring mapping cannons. They've been haggard for a long time since the big nerf to them. They needed that nerf before, but they never kind of came back to their former glory. And Deathstreak Rocket Launchers seem to do just really good damage against infantry anyways when you go with their spray fire shot. So yeah, typically if you're a Chaos Dwarf player, just bring the Deathstreak. You're going to appreciate it more. And it looks like it's going to be an Overseer. Oh, it was in, yeah, it was in the, that's funny. So it's in Polish because the individual who sent me this replay is on the Polish client. So I was like reading that. I was like, what the hell's going on here? But it is going to be an Overseer. So the Overseer is just a cheap combat character. The Black Gem of Nar is a pretty terrible thing. It makes him invulnerable and like it lowers his melee attack, but it makes him invulnerable to damage. So it's a weird thing. I feel like they could have made that so much neater, but yeah, it is what it is. Colin's going to be a Metal Sorcerer, so Searing Doom Spam has always been very good against Dwarves, and the Dowie going to be chilling out in the middle. Oh, Deathstreak nasty. He kind of had them blobbed up, so the Longbeards get nailed, and the Ekron's Miners also get taken to Pound Town a little bit as well. But the Dowie are going to be securing what appears to be a triple cap here. Do they have anything on the outside? They don't, which is definitely a mistake. If the Chaos Dwarves are going to be kind of playing tight like this, although, you know what? That's not true. Because, yeah, with the mobility the Chaos Dwarves have, I'm looking at them like Dwarves. I'm like, oh, they're not fast, but yeah, they can get things over that are quick and isolated and take out your isolated units, right? So Master Engineer is going to be creeping up. He's got his long rifle, and he's pumping those Dwarven legs. So he's going to be moving over the hill. And does he have line of sight here, really? Okay, I guess he can kind of see over the hill a little bit. What's he shooting at? Oh, he's shooting at the Deathstreak Rocket Launcher. Connects! Gets a nice shot right there with that long rifle. Very, very good. And now we see another Kadai coming out. So the Chaos Dwarves seem to just be biding their time until a big rush is going to be underway, right? So it's going to be two Fireborn flanking around the outside, and just the big wall of armor piercing moving up the middle. And the Deathstreak Rocket Launcher is pulling back, being shot once again by that Chad Master Engineer. So you got some good work in there for sure. Now, regular Dwarves, oh, we got the Skyhammer. The Dowie Royal Air Force is here. You got to watch out, though. The Deathstreak Rocket Launcher, potentially a really good counter against this, but if the Chaos Dwarves didn't bring any other shooting, like blunderbusses or fireglaves or even hobgoblin archers, what's going to happen is the Skyhammer is going to fly over and just kill this thing with its machine gun. So really curious to see how that goes. And I can't help but think the Dwarves are going to be a little bit better off on this objective here because of the triple character. Like Grombrindle as well as Felix are both really impactful fighters. They can grind on positions very well. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit tricky for the Dowie Czar to get in there. All right, are we going to get the bombardments? Give it to us, Precious. Come on. Come on. Okay, looks like he's going for the kill on the Deathstreaker, which makes sense because the Deathstreak will annihilate this thing, and the bombs can always come back in later. But nope, looks like it's going to be the first volley. Apocalypse Now, Dwarves. Big, big value. And it's going to be, oh my god, is it going to dodge the missile? Oh no, it's not. Deathstreaks are like so accurate. It's really hard to dodge it, but that was good value. And assuming he doesn't get wrecked here and is able to get the job done, yeah, could take out that Deathstreaker. We'll see. So on the flank, Fireborn going to be coming around the side. We do see the throwing axes shooting into the Chaos Dwarf Warriors as the ultimate grudge is in effect. The Dwarves fighting their Oathbreaker cousins. Dwarves are definitely one of the armies I'm going to be starting in tabletop soon when the Old World comes out. More blasting charges underway. Felix, Grombrindle, and company getting in there and duking it out. But really good counterplay here by the Chaos Dwarves using that beautiful final transmutation. Felix getting brought down to like half health, and Grombrindle beat up, as well as the Master Engineer. Felix isn't a dwarf, right? So he doesn't have the magic resist the others have, but he does have healing. So Felix is going to be able to heal up a little bit. Really good Searing Doom. Overall, the magic from the Chaos Dwarves has been really, really impactful so far. But there's a lot of healing on this dwarf build with Felix healing these 3 characters. And now it's a Grudgen. Grombrindle with the blasting charges through the fire and brimstone moves in. And he has found his oath-breaking cousin. And he is going to just take this Demon Smith to Pound Town for sure. You can see he's running. He got brought down to like half health already. And yeah, I feel like the character squad here is going to be able to really, really, punish the Chaos Dwarf core. We'll have to see. Good flanking on the side. We do see the Kadai Fireborn moving in, but they, unfortunately for them, are going to be intercepted by some very angry folk with Mohawks, these Slayers. The Slayers will absolutely wreck the Kadai Fireborn in combat, and the Ultharch Raiders are able to escape. But that was good maneuvering by Hitman Hippo. He ran the Fireborn away, leaving Chaos Dwarf Warriors to fight Slayers, which is a horribly inefficient combat for the Slayers, right? They don't have the armor piercing to deal with that. So that's a very tough one. But Grombrindle is on the hunt, chasing down these evil Dawizar all over. Meanwhile, the Dawizar in the backfield, let's take a look. The Skyhammer's back, and the Deathshriek's also on death's bed. Oh my god, if Grombrindle was paying attention here, it could come in and just finish off this Deathshriek, because the Skyhammer is very low. One more rocket will do it in. But you could also go for the same approach of just saying, hey, screw it. I'm going to go and try and get as many bombardments as I possibly can here. So grinding still going down in the point. You got the Dwarves duking it out here, Dwarf Warriors and Longbeards, and Gotrek, Felix, and the Master Engineer. Certainly a very impactful presence. Deathshriek Rocket Launcher has been forgotten about. It probably just came back from break. And the Skyhammer could totally change the tide of this fight. But look, the Goblin Archers are shooting at the Skyhammer. It's very low, 363 HP. Through the fire and brimstone. Is it going to get it? Oh, yeah. It got a couple of shots. It got one bombardment in the back there. Is it going to get another one? No, it doesn't. It breaks. Very unfortunate for Grombrindle there. It could have done a little bit more, but, it went out like a champ. So middle objective is going to be flipping to the Dawizar. In the backfield, we have Slayers battling Chaos Dwarf Warriors, which feels really, really bad, like I said. The high armor on the Chaos Dwarf Warriors will be excellent against Slayers. Although Slayers are unbreakable, this is not a cost-effective fight at all. So the Chaos Dwarf seem to have gotten some work in there. We see the Ultharch Raiders being shut down. The blasting charges compromised by the Kadai Fireborn, which aren't being shot by any missiles, so they're able to really, really kind of comfortably push up. But the Dwarves got a second wave coming in. They've called in the Goblobber, which is going to be really good against the concentrated forces here. And this is where the Hero Hammer can really come into play. So Flash Bomb is active. The Overseer of the Chaos Dwarves is being 2v1'd here, but that's going to be a really nice final transmutation coming in from the Chaos Dwarves. That's going to be nailing Felix and probably finishing him off. But Grombrindle will stay and fight. But Felix, ooh man, is he going to hold? He's at 4 leadership right now. Of course, is passively healing because of his, not Buyer Blood, but Blood Oath. Technically, it's with Gotrek, but, this other dwarf is going to be calling in his chips here today. We'll see. Master Engineer still fighting. Felix Jaeger has fallen in battle. Grombrindle will try his best to avenge him. Kadai Fireborn with their recent buffs. Not quite going to break down and crumble. They were certainly a little bit better now. On the far side, we do see Objective 2 going to the Dwarves, or Objective 3, excuse me. And the Miners of Blasting Charge is going to be cruising up. And honestly, one Blasting Charge volley plus their armor piercing, they might be able to beat a Chaos Dwarf Warrior, which is pretty nuts for how cheap they are. Other side is owned by the Dwarves as well, and middle is owned by the Dawizar. Look at the name here. Oh my god, trying to say that. Oh my god, I know. No, I have a Polish wife, but sometimes the Polish language is very challenging for me. I know a couple sentences and words, but I'm just looking at that like, oh boy, that's a lot right there. All right, so Dwarf Warriors are heading up, and in the back, the Goblobber potentially compromised here, but it looks like some Longbeards were able to move in and maybe save it. Longbeard's not going to be super good, but these Kadai Fireborn are kind of on death's bed anyway, so these old grumblers of the Dwarves might be able to finish it. We will see. And yeah, Fireborn, no joke. I bet you both Fireborn units have gotten some pretty respectable value this game. Looking at these Fireborn, 1,800 value. That ain't bad at all. And now another final transmutation going down. Nope, Searing Doom. Grombrindle trying to win the middle back with his Slayers. Master Engineer is moving up. Where's he going? Looks like he's just going to be lining up his long rifle. So the Master Engineer just kind of sitting, taking pot shots. And the Grudge is a very bleak-looking battlefield. You can see the shields of the fallen Dowie and Dawizar alike. For all of the haggard things that Total War has, it's a really, really, I mean, the aesthetics of this game and like the way the models look and just like the battles, they're really, really good. Just kind of a tale of like squandered potential in many ways, right? So Demon Smith Sorcerer here on the run. Grombrindle's hunting him down. He's going to be trying to waddle through, but old Gromby does have that big old rune axe, and that Demon Smith is certainly in the wrong neighborhood. Negative 55 and shattered. So now the Chaos Dwarfs do not have any magic. And Grombrindle, I mean, if he's able to take out the Lord here too, that's going to be pretty nasty. Grombrindle just straight up the Terminator now, going around with his crazy wild man here. And beating down these Chaos Dwarf characters here, certainly very righteous. And looks like, is he going to keep chasing? It looks like he is. As far as the speed goes, they have the exact same speed. Grombrindle might be able to get him. We'll have to see. He's winded, and Grombrindle is currently exhausted, so yeah, that could play into the part there. Objective 1 owned comfortably by the Dwarves. We do have the miners blasting charges there. Dowies do spawn in something to try and capture it, so some Chaos Dwarves are on their way over. Side point looks like it is in flux here, and I believe the Fireborn, yeah, Fireborn able to get that pretty easily with the Hobgoblin Riders. So very, very dicey fight here. The Dwarves certainly looking to be in a bit of a precarious situation, but they do have the more impactful character. Dwarves clearly going to be hunkering down on Objective 2 and Objective 1. And you have to remember the Dwarves, though, they're down by about 1,000 value, 900 value, give or take. They do have a lot of healing, too. So there was healing from Felix earlier, which probably healed quite a bit on Grombrindle, as well as Felix himself in this character. That might mitigate the value difference. So the Overseer moving in once again, and yeah, he's learning his lesson. Every time he comes in, he just gets his butt kicked by Grombrindle. Uh-oh, the Flash Bomb! This could be the turning of the tide for sure if he can get the kill, but it looks like Grombrindle's going to pull back. No, he's turning back around. Okay, he just had to go in with the steel chair rear charge there. And look at that, the Wolf Riders coming to save the Overseer. Very clutch play there by Hitman Hippo. That could have been backbreaking if that character went down. The negative 16 leadership penalty across your entire roster is really not a joke. Now, as far as Objective 1 goes, the Dwarves might be in danger of losing this. They do have a big points lead right now. A couple miners with blasting charges trying to fight these guys. And the Dwarves, are they going to be able to retake the middle? We see a Gyrocopter with the Brimstone gun coming out, which is shooting at the Overseer, which is going to keep him broken. Blasting charges once again in, and the Fireborn have arrived. No Slayers, so no Quarrelers or Thunderers to really shoot them. On this map, Thunderers would be pretty terrible because of the hill, so they would like have line of sight issues, but Quarrelers could be actually pretty respectable here. They could put some good damage down on the Kadai Fireborn. Despite the armor, the volume of fire still could add up. 361 HP on the Lord. He's going to be running for the hills. Heavy fighting here in the center. Longbeard's moving in. They are immune to psychology, but these things don't cause terror anyways. The last time we got a Monstrous Infantry unit that caused terror, I mean, let's see. Yeah, Ogres, do the Ogres have any? I don't think, I'm trying to think of the Ogre Kingdoms units that do. The Moringles, when they first came out, did, which totally aesthetically makes sense. And the Skyhammer's back! Okay, it's been called in. The Dwarvish engineers must have repaired it on the battlefield, and now it's back in here, and it's going to be given the business to these Infernal Guard. Oh, nice bombardment runs here on these elite Chaos Dwarf units. So the Chaos Dwarfs did call in some elites, but the bombardment and the discouraged effect adding up. Grombrindle with the Rune Axe of Grombrindle actually gives him discourage. He's able to break those Infernal Guard. That is big value because that's an expensive unit. And now you can see the Dwarves have actually passed them in value, which is going to be brutal. I mean, they have enough of a point lead where they have time. Here we have a really nice flank coming in from Hitman Hippo, so the Hobgoblins are coming from over the hills, and the Dwarven artillery crew probably going to be compromised here. I don't see this going terribly well for them. So here they come. Hobgoblin Wolf Riders on their way, and it is go time, ladies and gentlemen. Over on Objective 3, Dwarf, the Dwarf Tide is coming. Ekron Miners and Dwarf Warriors do defeat their villainous cousins here. The Chaos Dwarf Warriors are going to be sent running. And now Grombrindle and the Skyhammer might be able to reclaim the middle once they can get rid of the Fireborn. We'll have to see. Flash Bomb being used on the Hobgoblins. They're a bit of a strange call. It does debuff stats too, so typically you would probably want to use it on the center fight, although no, it looks like it hit the center too, so that's a bit strange. Maybe they were there and got hit by it and then moved out is what I think happened. Death-3 Rocket Launcher is back online, so it is shooting and appears to be shooting at some of the reinforcing units here. Chaos Dwarves moving in some Chaos Dwarf Warrior Great Weapons to try and hold Objective 3, but they're very slow, 28 speed, so this objective is for sure going to be going back to the regular Dwarves here. And yeah, that one is going to flip. And the middle objective is in flux as well. It's kind of going back and forth, but the Chaos Dwarves are really finding a way to hold on to this one. But the point lead that the Dowie did get earlier in the game is giving them a lot of cushioning now. Now in the backfield to get more Rangers with Great Weapons. Altharch Raiders should be able to finish off these Hobgoblins there. Nice throwing axes, and then they charge in, or I guess brace for the charge. They'll take a little bit of damage, but the Goblins are going to break and run, and Altharch Raiders will be able to move their way to the middle. Grombrindle for sure is being the hard carry here, though. Currently, Grombrindle sitting at 2,100 value, and if we look at the Kadai Fireborn, let's see what they've been up to this game. Probably pretty damn good. We have 186 kills, 1,200 value. Yeah, seems very strong, especially against the Hero Hammer style. Like, a lot of Dwarf players go super wide with Quarrelers and Blasting Charges, but against, like, this Grombrindle style here, where we're seeing a very elite kind of army that doesn't have a ton of range outside of, like, Rangers and maybe Gyros, they seem to be really durable and really menacing. So Ulthar's coming up, Blasting Charges are on the way, and here we are going to have a little bit of a duel on the side, but the Dwarves, Chaos Dwarves will win this, because the Death-3 Rocket Launcher is nuking these Ekron's Miners pretty hard. But that Blasting Charge salvo, right in the old face, baby. That's some nice damage right there. Death-3 does miss that shot. Ekron's Miners, in a vacuum, Ekron's Miners might win this. I mean, their melee attack is at 39. They might still be able to find a way. It depends on the Death-3 Rocket Launcher and the interference it's able to provide. But yeah, it's going to be a tough fight there. Ekron's Miners are very resilient, and they will at the very least hold that objective for quite some time. Over on the far side, we see the Dowie getting the point back. Rangers with the stock able to creep up on the point. That's one cool thing about Rangers with Great Opens is they do have stock, right? So in domination mode, your opponent won't see them moving to the objective, so they can't prepare to them. And they're good enough to clear out armor in both melee and at range too. So yeah, it looks like the Dowie are going to be able to reclaim the realm here as they do take that side objective. More Rangers with Great Opens cruising up, and that's going to be a nice throwing axe salvo. Kudai Fireborn probably going to break, and as soon as they start disintegrating, they're unstable. They are demons, so they're going to be going to the Shadow Realm here. Grombrindle also using the Flash Bomb to slow them down. And the White Dwarf, man, he is not taking any prisoners. Everything that comes to the middle, he is just getting in there, and currently at 2,500 value, man, that is no joke. Chaos Dwarves kind of look like they're falling apart a little bit. Gyrocopters run out of ammo. Should have unsummoned them, but they sometimes accidentally get sent into melee. And the Chaos Dwarves do recall in their Lord, which is very funny. He's a super unimpactful Lord for the most part, so probably not going to do much. But, you know, he's trying his best. Let's give him a break here. Ulthar's Raiders throwing nice throwing axes into the Great Weapons. And they also have good melee prowess too. 29, 27, and 30. So they can definitely fight a Chaos Dwarf Warrior, no problem. And will the Dowie be able to get this point back? Objective 3 belongs to the Dowie. Objective 1 belongs to the Dowie on the outside. Unsummons going down to the Skyhammer is going to be very good. That will give them a big surplus of income. And those throwing axes and blasting charges doing quite a bit of work here. But really nice blast coming in from that Deathreek rocket launcher in the back. Nailing those Dwarf Warriors there. But Grombrindle's now moving up. And he's like, all right, you want round 2, dude? I'm down. Grombrindle, even at like a third of his health, would probably beat this Overseer in combat. He's going to be pushing through his traitorous cousins, looking to settle that grudge right once more. So he is going after the Overseer. And the blasting charges and throwing axe, that's a really nasty combo. Yeah, melting those Dowizar units. But the Dowizar look like they might be able to flip the side objective. Granted, a Dwarf Warrior is on its way. They will lose to the Chaos Dwarf Warriors with Great Opens, though. But Goblobber is called out, which I do like. I think that's kind of a nice piece. And considering they have a points lead, it could still generate some value for them. And it is going to be more Longbeard. Slayer's also hustling up. This is certainly a big map, so for all these short Dwarven legs, it's a bit of an adventure, for sure. So Grombrindle butchering through this Overseer here. He's getting in there, cleaving some of his miners, and you know they'll be all right. They're just getting knocked over. Kudai Fireborn, though, have reinforced, but I think it's going to take them a little bit too long. And I think that the Dowie would win on one objective now. So if the Dwarves want to, they can start just Helm's Deeping on objective 1, which would probably be a good call. I mean, fight for as long as you can on 2, but when it starts to look ugly, you can just send every single reinforcement over to objective 1. And Chaos Dwarves, though they're more mobile, they're not like super quick. And here the Dwarf Warriors do actually defeat the Chaos Dwarf Warriors with the support of the artillery. So in the back, the Goblobber was able to land a couple square shots and did turn the tide of the fight. So now the Dowie are going to be taking this objective 2, right? Objective 3 is going to begin flipping in a moment. And we see the Chaos Dwarf Warriors moving off the point, couple Longbeards and Miners with blasting charges coming up. So the Dwarven tenacity outlasting. And the hero, really, Grombrindle, is hitting probably close to 3k value here. 2,800, which is so good for a foot combat character. Grimgor is watching with one just sad tear from the shadows, wishing that he would have such gameplay. He would be picked. But sadly, his greenskin buddies aren't able to carry him here. So, well, not in this match, but in general. Yeah, I wonder if Grimgor gets played. You know, the greenskin meta, I'm really curious. Ever since the Wurzag nerf, they've become certainly a much more interesting faction to me. I'm kind of want to pick them up and play them. But, yeah, because the Wurzag meta was just stupid. It was so boring. Yeah, that's going to be it. GG, well played. The short duel is on. And the Dwarves have finally gotten vengeance. The last couple replays I've cast here have been victory for the Chaos Dwarves in that matchup. But we do see the Dowie getting it. Grombrindle putting that game on his back, 3,000 value. And overall, man, good Skyhammer play. 2,800 value. Granted, it was summoned twice. So take that with a grain of salt. And for the Chaos Dwarves, the Deathraker got 2,800, which is nuts. Kudai Fireborn, very, very good. And yeah, I can't help but think 3,400 value on that one. Jeez. Maybe a couple like cheaper infantry corps, like just less Chaos Dwarf Warriors, or bring maybe just the shielded ones, and then mix in like more Fireborn. I don't know, man. That was they did really good. Jeez. All right, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that. We'll be back with more replays soon. You guys take care of yourselves, and that is going to be it for today.